Often, if you've been working already inside of Affinity with projects, you'll open Affinity and you'll see the previous documents that you've been working on, which you can click there. Then you have your presets. If you've made any presets or you want to use the custom built presets, so you don't have to start redesigning every single preset. There'll be a whole lot of them. And these are little tutorials here. But often if you start up, you wouldn't see this screen, you'll see the next screen. But if you do come here and you want to get other options for presets, if you look here, you can see if you choose landscape, those are sort of a sample of a preset, but there's many more presets that exist here. This is my presets, which is what I have physically created. But the default ones that it comes with is still layered inside here. And to see that, you go to see more. If I click on here, see more, it pops up with this dialog. And if I scroll here, these are all presets that come part of Affinity, you know, A4, A5, etc., etc. The formatting of it is here on the right, but I'm not going to go through that now. The main key that I want to talk about is the Canva AI and where the variations reside. So I'm going to click A4 here just to open up something. If you do not see your Canva AI Studio available there, you can go on these three dots. I'm going to just click this Canva AI off here. You see it disappears there. So this might be the standard 3 studio portions that are there. You can come here and create any other studios over there. A studio is basically just a formatted layout with menus and customized things, and you can save it. You can create your own ones. So these are standard ones that come when you install Affinity Studio. So I'm going to just go to Canva and it will appear there. So we hit over to AI. Just to note that Canva AI is an AI tool that's linked to the internet, and you have to have a Canva Pro account. And that just makes sense because it's generating online. The rest of the Affinity Studio is 100% free forever for everybody. But when you start to use the generative AI stuff inside of it, because it's linked to the Canva ecosystem, of course Canva owns Affinity now, you have to, when you start it up for the first time, link it to your Canva account. So mine is a pro account, therefore I have access to all the AI stuff that's in it. If you don't have a pro account, when you register initially, you still have to open up a Canva account, and it's a basic one that would be free, but then the AI is not available. Okay, so just make sure that you have the Canva Pro account. And really, I think it's like 800-900 Rand in South African context for a whole year. It's really worth it. I've been using Canva for a long while. It was a bit difficult initially to shift over to Canva, and you kind of think, no, you don't want to work with all these template based. But as an additional tool, using it with your actual design tools, it is brilliant. And now Canva actually owns Affinity, which just makes it more brilliant because the integration becomes really seamless. So let's move across. When you choose Canva AI, on the right hand side, you're going to see generate an image. There's two options there, image and vector. The image one is the one we're going to select. Vector is brilliant, but I'll cover that in another video. We're going to generate an image, and the question that I want to answer in this video is, where are all the variations that we generate? So if I say there must be 4 variations, where are they? I used to struggle finding them. In most programs, you'll see the 4 variations appear and you can select them. In this one, it was kind of hidden, but it's actually, the way you engage it is actually quite brilliant, and I wouldn't want to have that change because it makes things quite a bit seamless. So I'm going to just say a girl or lady riding a motorbike. Okay, when we go to the bottom here, before I click generate, you'll see automatically enhance the prompt. So that prompt will become a bit more vast by enabling this. I usually leave that on unless it's generating some random things. What I would have loved to have happened is that I could generate the actual prompt and see what the prompt is before I generate the image. Maybe that's in a upcoming one. So here under more options, just to be aware, your style, you have all of these various styles that you can do. So maybe I'm going to go and say, I want this thing to be generated as a stock photo image. Then you know that's the level. You could choose other options like minimalistic, etc. So I'm going to choose stock photo. How it puts it in here is going to be square, or it's going to be landscape when it generates the image, okay, or portrait there. So maybe I should leave this on landscape. Now here's the key of this video is how many images do we want to have generated? Now I put this on 4 and I generated the thing, but I only got 1, and I was like, where do I get the other 3 or other variations? I didn't know, and by mistake I discovered it. You know, all inventions in life often happens by mistake. But I'm going to choose like the maximum so we can work through those. So it's going to generate 8 variations for me. Okay, it's going to give me 1 image and 8 variations, and I'll show you how to access it. And then I'm going to pop it over onto Ultra HD quality. So there we are, ready to go. So I'm going to click generate, and there we wait for it. So this was my normal workflow. I'd go set up what I want to generate, and then in generation history there used to be an image over here, and I thought that there'll be now all the 8 images. So how do I access the others was the question, which I'm going to answer in this video. So let's just see as it generates. I went across to this one and I did a right click and tried to see what options existed. There might be some other ways, but I think this way is basic, simple, and extremely effective, and I'll show you why. Okay, so it's doing, here we go. So as we chosen here that this is going to be landscape, you see it filling up here. Okay, now this is a beautiful photo, but I would still say it's probably a bit too over smooth. You know, but it's great. So we've got the image there. So I thought, okay, I'm on here. How do I access it? If I right click, it's giving me delete, or I can open this very same image into a new tab, a new document. But now, where does the variations reside? And I asked for 8. So if I double clicked onto this icon here, nothing was happening. I came here, selected the image, right click, and go like, okay, where are we here? And didn't know, I might have been missing something. But the simplicity of it is, you basically, and I did this by mistake, you double click on the image, and there we have our variations. Isn't it? I know it's quite simple, but it's not too obvious. So I take this here, I'm going to put that over here, and if I double click on that, these things here. Now if I click off that and I take this and I copy it, now I've got a shortcut key. I keep the control button down on my keyboard and I just drag up and go to the second one, maybe just size it onto the page. Now the reason for the brilliance of this kind of double click story is if I want to change this to a different variation while keeping that one, I just double click on that and then I can choose that is an option, or maybe that is an option, and I'll click off there. So now I have variations there that I can work on. I'm going to keep shift down and move here. If I want this a different variation, I double click on this one and maybe choose this one. Okay, so say I'm happy with these. Look at how effective this is. If you're working with most programs, they would have these variations stuck here. If you delete one of those variations, it's gone. But if I'm working with this picture at the bottom, these 8 variations, how many are there? 3, 6, 7, sorry, and it will be 8 with the actual image. These variations here are linked to this picture. So if I take this picture and I come here, let's say I'm going to, if I delete this one, I'm going to right click or just press the delete button. Oh, sorry. I'm shortcutting my brain here. You go onto this image and I'm going to click delete. Okay, so say this was the image that I clicked. Now we've got 6 here. If I click on this image, can you see we've got 7? And that one we've got 7. But if you come to this one, we've got 6. I've deleted one of the variations on this image, but it hasn't affected the others. I still have all 8 to choose from there, for example. So it really just works that way. And then the super resolve is if you want to make this into a high quality. We might as well just show you that now as we're doing this part of the lesson. I'm going to go, it might take a little long and I might have to fast forward it, but let's maybe delete these ones off. Click that delete, this one a bit bigger, and I'm going to click super resolve, and like I said, I might have to fast forward it. Okay, so after waiting however long, yeah, this thing didn't go through. The super resolve, I think it's a feature that you download a bit of software on to the Affinity Studio and it works off your computer. Now I've got an i9, but yeah, it just didn't want to go that far, so I've stopped that process. Okay, so I hope that this helps you to discover where the variations are. So if you generate any image, you just double click on it and boom, variations come up. Be blessed. Shalom to everybody.